Good morning, everybody. Been a hot second, but I'm not dead. At least in theory. Alright, hit those buttons. Accidentally hit the more content button. Dead inside? That's true. Yeah, I'm not covering the Hera thing. But 14 applications in the last 4 days. And I'll do some more later today. So, your boy has been hitting the job applications hard. Applied to the Twitch stream? I applied to my own Twitch stream and it was a success. But he's hanging in there. He's doing alright. Having tons of medication. He's had like physical therapy come several times a week. Guess we can jump into this real quick. Hello, Phineas. Hello, why don't you say hi? No idea if this is actually a best of 5. Anyway, we're just going to be catching the end of this. I've been having a really difficult time keeping up with the not the Allisocracy Cup, the Specialist Cup, because it just feels like it's all over the place with the scheduled times. There've been a lot of very one-sided matchups, and it's like all of the different brackets or whatever. So hopefully we'll be able to cover it a bit more consistently once the tournament like whittles down some players and hopefully get some more consistent times. Anyway, this is just good old migration. Bad koala, blue Persians to the north, fire, red Bengalis to the south. Persian's definitely going to want to go aggressive here. And indeed, there's the barracks coming forward. And the stable. Fishing lines. (13 to 13 fishing ships. Got lots of hulks. Iron casting. I mean, I guess it helps out your scouts as well, so it's not a complete waste, but again, it literally does not matter in Hulk v Hulk. Helps a lot versus the fire ships, though, if there are any of those, and there were some. Fire takes a nice KD, though, but remember, it is bad koala here with the middle. Rip the monk. 22 to 21 hulks. And, oh, scouts running into the hulks. That's not going to get you very far in life, but still. Trying to establish a beachhead here. That villager doesn't know who to support. Bad koala certainly being very annoying. Nice repair there, and that TC isn't happening. More epic Hulk on Hulk action. Oh, just now getting Loom. Now, fire is in. He's got a little bit of gold left. Bad Koala has 4 relics on top. Is Castle actually at home? Interesting that he wouldn't build it in the middle, but I guess he's already got control of the middle. I have no idea what this is from 5. What on earth is that? Even if you get a castle up over here, what does it accomplish? I guess the vills are kind of stuck, but there aren't really many resources left over here. This is still the area that you need to control. Anyway, Cavalier even coming in. I mean, the Bengali Navy is a lot better in the late game. But you are running out of gold, like, right now. I don't know if you have enough oomph left. You have Blast Furnace in. Now, if I recall correctly, Blast Furnace, yeah, it should work. Yeah, 6 melee armor versus 8 attack. For your K-Rax. Castle there goes down. Got the hand cannons out. And that is going to be that, as Bad Koala takes what I assume to be a sweep. Could be wrong. Check it out. Oh, it's a play all 3. I mean, same deal, it's over. Moral of the story, it's over. Wait, how do you have groups with 3 people in it, 4 people in it, and 5 people in it? I imagine organizing this tournament is a nightmare, so kudos to Zardus for embarking on that. Which group was this? Bad Koala. Getting a win there. Good stuff. And what was it? Kapach versus Chart is in an hour and a half, as is Kingstone versus U-Pudding. This could be a good one. Not just because it's only clown maps. What map pool is this? Bosmo, Bypass, Copenhagen, Donakill, Dong, Festa de Polvora, Forest Pond, Glade, Summers Clearing, which I think is just Arena, Raiji, Treasure Beach, Veldshans, Zival, and Surprise Maps 1 and 2. That's a great map pool if I've ever seen it. Oh man, as somebody rooting for the Spurs, that was painful. It's like, you saw it coming. You saw it coming from a mile away. When I saw that lead at half and everything, like, oh, it's an insurmountable lead, I'm like, no, 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 no. The Spurs can't keep a lead and the Knicks are always coming back. Them's the rules. Just, honestly, terrible coaching, terrible execution. Ugh. North America DLC? Probably not. Well, if you've seen 10 total games of basketball, that's certainly one of them to watch. Here's a fun fact for you, Boom. At the very end, when the Spurs had the ball, all De'Aaron Fox had to do was just dribble it out. And because the shot clock was turned off and they were up by 1 point, the Knicks would have had to have fouled him. So literally, by standing there in place and dribbling, it would have been a much, much, much better play than actually trying to go for a layup that just got blocked and they lost possession. One of the classic cases of doing nothing is the better play than what you did. I don't think they can recover from that. I mean, how do you recover from the worst loss in NBA Finals history? Remember, guys, we hate closed maps, and we love open maps. Missing. That was like, oh my god. How do you even miss that? Oh, they call him Stonewall Lewis. Got some camels coming in. I mean, if Siscon wanted to, he could probably take the heavy cav archer route, but I actually don't hate this. If you have a good position, and I think he had the faster uptime, yes? Yeah, he did. Yeah, because you have the faster uptime, I actually really like this. Pour on the pressure. Forward siege workshop, lots of cavalry units. And try and keep your opponent back at home while you start to scale your own economy. This is going to give Siscon not only the ability to, obviously, you know, keep his opponent stuck at home, give him space to boom, but it means that you're not in this sort of half-map v half-map situation where you're watching a huge blob of cav archers grow, and then you can't really do anything to force an engagement. Another chance? Oh, yeah, I mean, it's been a franchise that has been through a lot of down. The issue is all the celebrity stuff that I find completely annoying. And then the Knicks fans in general are some of the most annoying out there. One of those situations where I like the team. I don't have any issues with the players on the Knicks. It's just the fans that are annoying. Alright, just 2 ranges here for Lewis, but the CA numbers will continue to climb. I'm not entirely the biggest fan of the Ram, though. I feel like you want to keep pressure with either rocket carts or scorpions. Now, this is exactly what I was saying that you don't want, where you're both sort of hanging around on the map, nobody sort of has a decisive positional advantage, and then you're just going to watch this cav archer blob get bigger and bigger and bigger. World Cup? Yes, I will. Has it started yet? I know it's like right around now. But I think the match in Chicago was just a friendly between the USA and Germany. I don't think any of the actual World Cup matches are happening here. Is corrupt AF? Of course it's corrupt. But it's still the only way I find football exciting. Besides, I want to go ahead and cheer on America. All that good stuff. Anyway, Siscon, his eco is looking sick. He's lost a lot of this positional advantage. That said, he still is accruing a decent number of scorpions here. Getting pastoralism and bowsaw is not a bad idea. And again, the resource advantage will only continue to increase, even with the second TC. America game is today. Ooh, who are we playing? Oh, nice conversion. No +2 defense. Oh, wait, all the scorpions went down except one. Oh my goodness, that's awful. Paraguay? Paraguay? More like, I know a guy who will lose to the US. Okay, this feels like it's all a little late. Like, this switch should have been happening while you're still having the pressure and at least some presence forward with your siege. Now you're going to be forced into this defensive position. You got more camels on the way. Chain barding armor is nifty and all. But yeah, let's see. USA versus Paraguay. No, that says it's tomorrow. I gotta root for the Korea as well, of course. Does the host country not kick things off? Well, I guess Mexico is a host country, duh. And so is Canada. Okay, so it's just the one match day, Mexico versus South Africa. Yeah, I'll probably put that on later. Meanwhile, if you look to your left, you can see Siscon's lost 10 vills. Now Lewis is in exactly the position he wants to be. The Cav Archer mass is growing. The Camels are going to have a hard time forcing an engagement. I mean, a few are going to come in for the counterattack. They're going to snipe at least a couple of Cav Archers. Of course, the Khitan Camel's not really the best here due to missing bloodlines. You're getting kind of stuck, though. Leave the house. Leave the house. There you go. And all those CA are going to get cleaned up, but there's another wave of reinforcements coming in. 16 vills lost. You can see the vill counts are very comparable. Oh, no. It feels like Siscon's kind of lost the thread of this game. Is this Czechia? Oh, yeah, that's not until 9 p.m. Oh, jeez. Well, I guess that's going to be one of the better time slots for the two countries. In 2010? Well, there we go. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on it. Or for it, or whatever. Especially because a lot of the matches should be much better times than I usually get for the World Cup, which is like, the games start when I start working. Yeah, the thing is, Siscon needed to have a transition into his own range units. Either CA or Skirms. Probably his own CA. Actually, Skirms could work fine as well. Or Castle coming in from Lewis, and this is probably going to seal the deal. Oh, look at this hot ram on ram action. Yeah, too many vills going down. Never really able to establish a good enough army, and the CA, it's so much easier to play Magyars here than it is to play Khitans. But, I mean, Lewis absolutely doing what he needed to do. Just hang back, just get the Cav Archer mass down. But having +4 attack for the Camels isn't really all that useful there relative to having the 20 HP with Bloodlines that another Civ could have. Anyway, this is likely going to end in deepest tears for Siscon. Lots of tears all the time. There you go. I actually thought Siscon was in a really good position. I like the Camels and the Siege forward in Castle Age, but it just gets to a point when you don't stop the Cav Archers, and to win in that spot, you need to get your own ranged units behind. Probably HCA, maybe Skirmishers. And that way you can actually leverage your much stronger economy. As you can see here, Lewis is just chilling at home, so you gotta play the eco style. Molly, yep. That checks out. I saw that. And it's almost entirely because one of the most popular progressive politicians in America is Ilhan Omar, who's Somali American. And Trump hates her. No, that's entirely it. 100%. So do you think that Ref should have considered that he shouldn't be an ethnicity that's the same as somebody who is a political enemy of Trump, and is also even worse than that, coming from a black and Muslim country? Really, this referee should have thought about that more before trying to be a World Cup referee, SMH. At least for this World Cup. Perhaps not in a more enlightened place. Yeah. Sure. Anyway, the musica here for Stone Please to the south and Yo in the blue as the Malians to the north. Sort of a modern classic Civ versus one of the weirder ones. Under a white flag. Oh my god. I mean, it's just so unfortunate that FIFA is such a corrupt, horrible organization that what should be one of the most world-uniting activities, the World Cup, is like this partisan, corrupt hack thing. But, you know, such is life. Such is life. Anyway, modern Arabia maps are pretty darn similar. Note that it is a mill. I mean, this is a sick settlement. Look at this settlement for Stone, please, guys. You're on the wood and the gold and the rabbits. That's pretty great. But yeah, I guess it is maybe worth milling the rabbits over the orange bushes, especially in Dark Age. Unless you think your opponent's going to drush. And the barracks is coming in nice and early here for Stone, please. Remember, we have very cheap settlements for the Musica. Can get an early barracks down quite effectively. How much are the settlements these days for the Muisca? 84 wood. That's a nice bit of savings. Looks like it will be for a Chumpy Warrior rush, so what is essentially a Men-at-Arms rush. So the attack isn't coming super fast, and, you know, Stone Please is only going to be up one population sooner than Yo. Sure. Hey, Muisca. Who was the Emperor of Japan during World War II? Showa. Man, these guys know their history. Alright, Barracks coming in for Yo. Is he going to open with his own swordsman here? Yes, he is. Now remember, the Men-at-Arms in general do beat the Chompies head-to-head. Oh man, now I'm having to think of all these changes. So, Chompy Warriors with extra armor from Muisca should, I think, trade evenly. While the Chompies train slower and are slightly more expensive, so it's still a good overall fight for the Men-at-Arms, but the Chompies do move faster. I'm pretty sure... That was his name. His title was the Showa Emperor. Yeah. Alright, gonna be Men-at-Arms and the Chompy Runner upgrade, which now comes in much faster. And then you will get that speed bump. Although I don't think we should be talking about a bump from the Civ from Colombia, whose Castle Age unique tech is herbalism. That's probably not the right phrasing. Alright, Chompy Runner is in, and now they can force the engagement. Get some good hits off. Remember, you get that one extra melee armor, so you should at least trade evenly on paper, especially before the Men-at-Arms upgrade itself is coming in. Although you do have one fewer unit overall, so it's all going to come down to the micro, and the Men-at-Arms are still going to triumph. In Hebrew, oh, is it? I have no idea. It's a very unfortunate word for that time frame, then. All right, good quick balls there from Stone, please. And Yo did not make another swordsman. No, he didn't. Never lost one, just lost a scout. So archers are going to be on the way. Where's the other... Oh, the other chompies. And they're like, where's the chompy go? Yeah, okay, with that one out, and then go ahead and finish off these guys. But yes, the Muisca chompies do trade evenly versus men-at-arms. I think that they should just be viable, not necessarily OP. They still might be a little on the weak side. But this is going to be a pretty straightforward cleanup for our red player. Good micro. And going to the club. So remember that their archers do have that extra melee armor, but no extra pierce armor, so it doesn't really matter versus other archers. In the club. Chompies look weird when they're marching with other units. It's like they're just walking in slow-mo. Yes, hello, I'm a Colado. Not the bear! You're supposed to have your final season! Yeah, with the wall way over there, but he's just probably going to try walling over there, but that means that the front of his base is still pretty open. I guess maybe he's just trying to wall like that. This does leave the foragers a little exposed for the time being. That said, Yo is about to have fletching. 8 farms for him. And that fletching upgrade is going to be essential. Does lose a villager in the process, though. It's nice to see Muisca actually played as a regular civ, though, against another regular civ, and we don't have to see something gimmicky for them to be successful. September 1818. Sometime it sure has.
Wow, this has been going
on
for some time.
Good enough. So I think it's not necessarily one or the other. If he keeps making men-at-arms, it gives him a great way to try and force an engagement and apply pressure. But if you want to play defensively and reach for Castle Age at a quicker time, then I think you can just defend with archers all right. And you can see that's exactly what Yo is doing right here. A really nice fight for him. So I think it just goes down to the approach you want to take, and, obviously wanting to go with that more defensive approach, especially with the quicker fletching time. Getting a second archery range. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable AoE here. Perfectly reasonable. And semi-cool casting? Yeah. Ignore me? Oh, I'm sorry I missed you, Messenger. It wasn't intentional, I swear. Been a few days, I'm out of the groove. Mostly just been playing Bioshock. And doing applications. I've been doing applications, I swear. No, I just haven't really been feeling super motivated these days. I did get back up to 2K, though. So that's a fun one. All right, Stone, please. Selling stone at the market. That said, Yo is more organically going to be reaching the Castle Age. Application to Hera. That application was rejected. And just like so many job applications, I didn't even get a response. Anyway, Stone, please. About to click up. And will be more archers here. So we're going to take that more archer-centric mid-game. I don't know about this for Stone, please. Yo's getting those eco upgrades down. After hitting 2K. Oh, maybe that's all the difference. Rejected? Obviously. so we're not going to bother it. Stone Please is German. Anyway, 13 archers to 8. Remember, Yo just started massing the unit sooner. Goat Stroker? I mean, in general, I try and ignore Norther whenever possible, but he just keeps on showing up. Did I lose a bunch of weight? What do you mean? I do need to lose some weight. I've been a bit of a fatty lumpkin. Sub 2K. Oh, yes. Anyway, Crossbowman is going to be in after that Archer. You can almost afford Bodkin. Bazzy random? I will as soon as, like, the matches are in a more normal time. Alright, Crossbowmen are here. Siege Workshop coming in. More convenient time for me. Those two things are one and the same. Hopefully in the AoE community we don't judge people based on their appearance. Except Doubt for being too beautiful, but, you know. There's always an exception. I didn't even have Bodkin for that fight, now enabling Yo to take some good engagements, and despite losing the villager, his economy is so much more efficient. Ever seen? Yeah, exactly. Siege Workshop coming in here for Yo. You got a Scorpion on the way, but I mean, at the moment, you're just playing with a stronger Civ at the moment as Yo. 2 free melee armor, not very helpful here. Ballistics is going to be nice to have there for both players, but you're also having Wheelbarrow in as Yo. And despite both players being on the 1TC, there's another settlement on the way. This is looking kind of tricky here for Stone Please. He needs to take some good fights. If he could get Herbalism, that would be a huge help, but obviously that's only after Unique Tech. And as it stands, no real bonus for those archers, so if you're looking at no bonus versus no bonus, then it's going to go to the guy who has the better economy, which is, in this case, is obviously Yo. Oh my goodness. Mercy me, I have the Vipers. Yikes. Why I... Hey, yes. Yo, we'll lose another villager there. Oh, the S word is coming in strong. I have the Vapors, indeed. I'm not even sure what the Vapors are. I just know it's like a southerny thing when it's really hot out. Probably heat exhaustion is what we would call it, I would guess. Anyway, yeah. Stone Please doesn't have an army. Yo, more of everything collected. Geez, Stone Please is fast. Still, Yo had the superior micro. He took the better engagements. And 10%, well, you know, there's something. It's Victorian and Southern Belle areas that describes a sudden feeling of faintness, lightheadedness, or being overcome by emotion. Ah. Tight corsets and societal expectations for women to be overly delicate and were often true, unacknowledged culprits of fainting. Oh boy. You're always learning something here at Ornlu AoE. It's rarely anything useful, but it is learning in the most technical sense. Information? Exactly, and you can't claim that it wasn't. Anyway, Stone Police is going to be here in the southeast as the outdated Power Crept Civ. And here to the west, in the blue, as the not as old, but still outdated and Power Crept Civ, the Bulgarians. These are live. Honestly, kind of an interesting matchup. Are you even better? I don't know. I think I still like Frank's a bit more in, like, mid-game? Although the Cav Archer play from Bulgarians is still pretty solid. Late game and mid-game, I think I like Frank's more. Early Feudal Age through early Feudal Age, early Castle Age, and early Imperial Age. I like Bulgarians more. And yeah, remember that Franks in general don't like dealing with Cav Archers. They were solid. It's a very unfriendly meta to Franks, and there are just better civs that do what Franks do. The issue is that the units that are really good in the current meta are archer units. Foot archers, skirmishers, and cav archers are all extremely powerful. And you might think that would make a civ like Britain's really good, but Britons, because they lack good cav archers themselves, fall into the situation where you're stuck playing really defensively, and you just don't have that mobility or the army quality that cav archers give you. So the civs that are really good are the ones that can do both cav archers and skirmishers really well, and then also foot archers in a pinch. Or in like early Castle Age. Which is why Vietnamese are such a good civ, because even if they didn't have Fire Lancers, they have excellent skirmishers, cav archers, and foot archers. Yes, Kodaks are good in melee combat, for sure. Really solid unit. Yeah, Frank Gunpowder is very helpful, and it's going to be something that you're going to need to utilize effectively if you want to win in the late game. Oh, you're talking about Vietnamese. Oh yeah, Vietnamese are a pretty silly civ. Yeah, that's just Vietnamese being silly. Oi! Alright, early barracks coming in here for you. Certainly not surprising to see the Bulgarians player open up men-at-arms. You don't have to with Bulgarians, but it feels like if you don't, then you're playing a really generic civ. Like, honestly, the thing with both Franks and Bulgarians is, like, do they need anything? There really isn't an aspect where, of either of these civs, it's like, oh, it just feels undertuned. Like, the stuff they have is good. It just doesn't fit into the meta well. Both civs have powerful options, for sure. But yeah, I mean, they are more melee-heavy civs, for sure. I think the only thing that's a little undertuned is I think it would be really cool if Bulgarians also researched the Siege Workshop text faster. Like, even just as a separate civ bonus, like, you could make it Blacksmith text work 80% faster, but have a civ bonus that's like Siege Workshop text research 80% faster. Help them with the timing potential. And I think that it would be kind of interesting because it gives the civ that timing potential with Siege that doesn't come from Bombard cannons, which is, I think, pretty unique. So I think that would be an interesting idea, at least. Like, how often would we see, like, a fast onager in early imp or something like that? Anyway, men-at-arms are in, and it will just be a straight archer opening. This is totally fine for Franks. I mean, yes, in a vacuum, Franks always want to open scouts. But you know you're up against a civ that is going to be at its best going for a men-at-arm rush. And the thing with Franks is that you still have a good eco, right? You get free horse collar, especially in the current meta. It's nice to be able to get that upgrade for free, as normally you can't afford it. Although Yo is actually doing just that because he's delaying his archery range. That also is quite greedy. But the point is, you have a good economy, so you can just open defensive archers, and you can transition into cavalry units later. But yes, this is very greedy from Yo. I mean, it's an aggressive men-at-arm opening, but afterwards, going for horse collar, adding in these farms, not being walled, this is like me playing, man. But Stone Please has his happy little egg base. Askutova. Yeah, still top 5? Excellent question. I don't know. How long does Sebastian have to have more success relative to Yo before we can say that Sebastian is a top 5 player and Yo isn't? Wait, no, they can both be in the top 5. What am I talking about? Yeah, yeah, they're probably still both. Yeah, Tato definitely is not anymore. So yes. All time? I think all time comparisons are a fruitless endeavor. Age of Empires has looked so different over the years, just like with any sport or esport. Venture ACCM. I'd put Vinch and ACCM at like 6 and 7. Anyway, like I was saying, no problem here with Franks. You open with the archers, then just transition into cavalry later. You still have the forge bushes, you still have the free farm upgrades, it's still a good eco. It's totally fine. Brick lasagna. Anyway, Yo is getting those farms down. He's just now going over to gold. He's got his skirmishers. Remember, though, it's just a food discount. You don't get the gold discount. That's Spanish. But there you go. Exactly 50 gold now. So he can go ahead and afford fletching. Just 50 food, 50 gold. I mean, he can. Doesn't mean Yo will choose. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of a pointless conversation to have. Well, terms are going to be defending for the time being, but now that you're going to have that scout follow-up as well. Still, that is going to be quite heavy on the food eco, but orange bushes are almost gone. You're getting your farm eco down to stone, please. So it's honestly working out just fine, I think, for both players. Tournament elo? I mean, he's had a pretty rough stretch of tournaments recently. Yeah, there were months where it was just like non-stop stuff happening. And now we've had a very quiet June. Well, like May into June. And the only thing that's going on is Hera's thing. And that's not really something that's especially inclusive. Gilbert coming in here from Yo. His farming eco is going to be looking real nice. Yeah, it was a lot. Definitely too much. Doubt. No. Doubt cannot be explained by rational numbers. Doubt is the ith best player ever. Tournament did I enjoy the most? Probably NAC2? It was my first LAN. Tournaments are going on? I think it's one of those things that at a personal level, it's always going to be what's ever going on in your life relative to like what tournament's going on. I think it's just a matter of what level you're looking at. Like at the macro level, it's absolutely like all the different factors that are talked about constantly. Because those are the sorts of levers that you can manipulate as a tournament organizer or World's Edge. But Elo, I don't actually remember the website. But yes, my bad. King's Gauntlet, absolutely the best tournament. For sure. Uh-huh. Ooh, couple kills there. Castle Age is in faster for Yo. Sudden disaster. It should be fun. But I think that speaks more to most S-tier tournaments having very similar settings. Yeah, tournament elo and ATP are like kind of similar, but they're different methodologies. Anyway, kind of have one of everything. You got an archery range, a barracks, and a stable for Yo, so not really tipping his hand as to what direction he is going to be teching into. He's getting Bodkin, a knight. You mean on hyper random? I mean, T90 can host whatever he wants, right? That's not really a matter of what he can and cannot host. Yeah, Yo's at least making some knights. Crossbone Bodkin coming in here from Stone, please, as is the light cav upgrade. I mean, he's got the feudal age units, so might as well upgrade them. But villagers maybe a little out of position. And that TC is not quite happening yet. Double stables here. Skirms looking for some value. They have the blacksmith upgrades already. They just don't have elite in quite yet. It is on its way. AoE 2 more exposure. I mean, it does give AoE 2 more exposure for sure. How much that's actually going to impact anything, I am extremely dubious. Alright. Stone Please trying to make something happen here with the light cap. They don't have any blacksmith upgrades. But it's just a lot of stats to throw at your opponent really fast here in early Castle Age, and that is going to be enough. Yo has a lot of low HP Vills right here. That's 8 dead villagers already here for Mr. Yo. 7 Vill deficit. Husbandry's now on the way. It is basically just knights. But Stone Please has more of them. And this TC was just a little too exposed. Sometimes life is that simple. Monastery coming in, but obviously this is very, very late. Bloodlines now coming in. That was obviously an issue not having it before. I mean, some decent hits there. Res collected now heavily favoring our Franks player, though. I mean, the TC's still not in. Second TC's about to be in here for red. He's got his 2 stables working. Monk is on the way, but there are still some light cap on the field. But this was just a classic case of Yo investing everything into the skirmishers, and his opponent did get crossbow and bodkin, but other than that, really didn't make any more archers. It was all cavalry, so Yo had a lot of very useless skirmishers, and a lot of not very good cavalry, while also not having the economy behind it. So it was just kind of stuck, and that's another dead Vill because insult to injury. Doncier, exactly. More like he should have gone a full long swordsman. That would have solved 100% of his problems. Thank goodness, so many emails. And there we go. Well done to Stone, please. Lewis versus Yo on Mega Random. What's a Mega Random? Ugh. Best music? That's very true. All right. It's koala. It's literally koala, except even more koala-like. That's a new one. All right. Well, Yo's gonna be in the red as the Turks here to the northwest, and to the northeast in the blue as the Cumans. It will be Lewis. So there's a ton of gold and like no stone. Yeah, there are 4 tiles of stone. But yeah, you have this big high ground area, and then all the stuff on the low ground.
What?
Is this a good Cumans map? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can TC over here on the low ground. So maybe it is. We will have to see. The hit movie Obsession? I don't know. I just saw that there's a lot of memes about it with like a crazy girlfriend look to it. A great FC map? Maybe. Just wall in the villagers at the wood line, and then everything else is very close to your TC. Somebody hoping out what? Yes, it is one of my favorites. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is very much my level of humor, whatever that means. Anyway, I'm gonna get some more coffee, guys. Enjoy watching Lewis's Scout. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. The scout has broccoli hair? Oh no. I thought Lewis shaved the broccoli hair and now he's got something else. Hello, Lodge. Alright. Recommend my K-Song video. That one was super grindy, if I recall correctly. Oh, wait. Is Lewis going FC Kipchaks? It's like going for FC Mangudai, but worse. The first minute, yeah, that was brutal. A more adult haircut, there we go. I mean, Hera is the poster child for maturity. Alright, Yo says no, 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 and it's tower time. You got scouts on the way. Got a couple vills going over to Stone here. We'll have to see if Lewis can safely make it to the Castle Age. He's gonna need to sell some resources. Now, the tower will first be on the wood line. Without the AI bugging out. I mean, the AI, I think, is bugged in the first place. I don't think it's supposed to attack you with trebuchets and stuff at the first second. Alright, tower here for both players. Saxon Revolt, whenever I remember to do the Saxon Revolt. High ground hits there. Crazy build order for maturity. Was it made by Freeman? The original Saxon Revolt was like literally one of the first scenarios ever made. It won the Age of Kings map scripting contest. Anyway, tower number 2 is going to be here. Okay, Song. It was a scrapped battle of the Forgotten. So yeah, it would make sense if it was made by Freeman. I don't know why it was scrapped. It was such a fun scenario. Yeah, well, the scripting contest was in Age of Kings, so it basically it was a contest in Age of Kings that was to be released with AOC, but then they cut it. Probably for legal reasons. What legal reasons? I mean, I don't know the exact reason it was never included in the actual game, but I would imagine it comes to crediting an author who is not affiliated with Ensemble Studios. Hey, there's the castle! Yeah, it's absolutely square-eared koalas. The eyes are in the ears. Too many Frank scenarios? Oh, that's never an issue. Grindy? Well, yeah, it's much more an execution issue. Also, Pekche and Sheila are impossible to differentiate from each other. Lalash or Bari too. Well, I mean, you got siege onagers. So, you know, that helps a lot. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that it was bugged. Anyway, the chop kicks are on the way. Remember, they have a pretty heavy wood cost. They're 65 wood, I think. So now I'm gonna doubt myself. No, 60 wood, my bad. 60 wood, 35 gold. And then the Shanbei Raiders are 65 wood, 25 gold. Okay, yeah, that's why I got them confused. Where do you farm? Not easily. How am I doing? I'm doing. Which is funny because Kipchucks used to be like one of the best units in all of Age of Empires. Even after their initial nerfs, it's just goes to show how good our friend Jonathan Bay is. Which is the worst unique unit? Centurions? I don't think there's a single answer. Oh, yeah, I guess the heroes. Peruvian Centurions and War Allies. Yeah, and again, they're not bad. It's just they're very situational. Well, it was Fast Castle for the Cumans player. Kipchucks are very good because they're attached to Cumans. They're still a fantastic unit. It's just humans are a very situational civ. But yeah, the hero units are definitely the worst, followed by Arumi, Centurions, and War Allies. Racians. That's not a civ. It's a castle up, he just kind of wins. Well, his eco is comically better. Now, Rams could still give this trouble. Versus Shrivamshariders. If humans right there, oh god, no. Bracer isn't a tech that you just give a civ. Whether or not a civ has Bracer is one of the very core design foundations to how a civilization operates in Imperial Age. I don't think there's another upgrade that is, again, is foundational to whether or not a civilization is good in Imperial Age, or at least how they play in Imperial Age, than Bracer. Captain, Lewis has 2 bills on food. He can't afford Capture him. No, I don't think any civ would ever miss Bodkin Arrow. It's too important. The ranged upgrades are categorically different than all of the other blacksmith upgrades because they apply to buildings and ships. And are critical for those. Bracer would literally give humans perfect trash. Like, they would have the best trash in the game. Speedy Hussars that train fast with full upgrades, fully upgraded halbs, and fully upgraded skirmishers. But civ should lose Bracer? I've seen some people suggest Georgians losing Bracer. And yes, I have seen give Bracer remove chemistry as an idea for humans, and I think that's an interesting one. Although it's a big nerf to their trebuchets. Civs have it, but it's not like every civ needs to have chemistry. I mean, it's like before before Malay and Burmese, all civs that had cavalry upgrades had +2 defense, and every single civ had leather archer armor.
That's it.
In Rise of Fire, that would be so broken, oh my goodness. Yeah, before Shu, every civ had an iron casting. The San Antonio Spurs. Oh my, that. As somebody who was a Spurs fan growing up as a secondary basketball team to the Bulls, that was so painful to watch. Oh my goodness. It was like a train wreck that you could see coming a mile away. Firing on the move, because it's fundamentally broken in an RTS. I don't think there is ever a way you could balance that. Upset, it's rough. Firing on the move, not in AoE 2. Since 2000. Yeah, I think like a lot of you guys, I grew up watching the Tim Duncan Spurs. And so I was a fan of the team. But Japanese aren't a civ in AOM, don't be ridiculous. Oh yeah, Pop is great. And I honestly am wondering if Pop was the coach, would they have fallen apart? A civ in AOM? Nope, AOM only has 4 civs. Greeks, Egyptians, Norse, and Atlanteans. Everything else is fake. I know, it was great. Like, good, actual basketball. Team-oriented play. Well, I guess you get 1 conversion, not that it's terribly exciting. Ram there goes down, and it looks like Yo is holding on just fine. What? I really have to think that they would have. And you have De'Aaron Fox, who's supposed to be like the veteran on the team, make literally the dumbest play I have seen in a very long time. It's not often in sports that literally doing nothing is better than what you did. Standing still and holding the ball was a significantly better play than what he did. Convert with accuracy, oh my goodness. Yeah, Pop retired. He's just 27, and he's still significantly older than most everyone else on the team. Oh, that was a good fight there for Lewis. Balancing. That was the Diamondback, and that was only in the beta, and then that was removed. It was a campaign-only unit. Yeah, 27 is still quite young. The Cyclone? Oh. Was that added later? I'm trying to remember. From the Fox? Yeah, it should be Romans, I think. Oh, actually, it might be Grand Trunk Road. Hindustanis. Yeah, I mean, Lewis went for FC Kipchoks, which is usually a very bad idea. Mangonel does pop out. Oh, saves the Siege Workshop. And the repairs are coming in, so that's at least giving Lewis a little bit of juice. Yes, it is literally koala. Magyars? What about Magyars? Oh, which tip has the strongest Kipchaks? It's probably one of those, there is no one correct answer. Magyars have a very good argument.
Hazır. Efendim. Evet.
Turks, Tatars. Those are the big ones. Mongols. I think it actually might be Turks. Because Kipchaks have such low base HP that a 20 increase is really huge. Gathered the ball and shot idiotically, yeah. Emotionally invested. I mean, that's what I thought it was with the Bulls, and then like,
Hazır.
you know, I started watching the NBA, and then the Spurs were gonna get in. Like, oh, it's just like when I was a kid and Tim Duncan was wrecking it when they were playing the type of basketball that I wanted to play, because basketball was my sport as a kid. That's what I played the most. And then it's like, oh yeah, let's cheer for the Spurs now. And then it's like, oh goodness. Oh, you're a Trailblazers fan? Oh no. You could be a Sacramento Kings fan. That's like rock bottom right there. Man. I mean, I don't play that many RTSs, I can't really say. Well, you're trying to add another TC as Lewis, but he has 2 vills on food.
Hazır.
NBA fan base. It's funny that the East is considered so much worse than the West, when the West has literally like some of the worst teams ever. Oh, the Wizards are awful, don't get me wrong. There's literally no point in being a Wizards fan. Thing is, I never even knew anyone who was a Wizards fan. And I lived in DC. People were fans of the Caps in hockey and of the Nats in baseball. Dash is downstairs right now. Wizards AoE games? I have not watched them start to finish, no. No, I actually, the World Cup is pretty popular here. Like, MLS isn't super popular, but the World Cup, definitely, people watch it. Residential curse? No, they just needed Taylor Swift. Yeah, the Kings made the playoffs with Mike Brown, and then they canned him, and now Mike Brown is on the precipice of winning the championship with the Knicks. Yeah, I think it starts in like a couple hours.
Namaste.
Yeah, no, the World Cup is definitely popular. And they're definitely trying to sell it a ton. Like, the marketing is huge here for the World Cup. Because it's, you know, here in America. Not that anyone can afford tickets to it, but, you know, that's another issue. Anyway, the blue Hindustanis to the north, red Georgians to the southwest for Kasva. Definitely two very strong A-tier Arabia civs for sure. A lot of, yeah, because the current administration sucks. I mean, I don't know what's surprising about this. Like, there is literally nothing surprising about this. NBA Finals? He did, and ABC literally tuned down the volume to make it sound like Trump wasn't being booed as loudly as he was. Well, yeah, that's, I mean, it's just so stupid. With the refs not being allowed entry. The Knicks did a nice thing, though, and let the guy who sung the national anthem with Trump there and was with all the boos actually sing it again with Trump not there, and then actually, you know, get the cheers and respect that you would want from somebody singing the national anthem, which I thought was a pretty classy thing to do. Well, remember, it's not a very representative selection of New York. It's a lot of... It's like the rich Manhattan crew, for the most part, which is going to be significantly more right-leaning than... your average New Yorker. A lot of finance bros there. Really? Yeah, it's so stupid. During the national anthem? Well, I think they did that on purpose. Like, they panned over to Trump during the national anthem, I think, assuming that people wouldn't boo during the national anthem, but no, people freaking hate Trump. Yeah, no, like, all of that felt extremely intentional. Again, it's like ABC was trying to put Trump in the best light possible. Not even Hera and Lewis combined? Yeah, I don't even think that even compares. That's a very forward barracks from Kasva. Person possible? Well, you know, we all have aspirations. Like, my grandchildren will ask me, like, how on earth was Trump ever president? And I'll be like, grandchild, let me tell you something. I mean, most people can't enter America right now. Grandchildren? Hopefully, one day. Twice? Yeah. I mean, I at least, I understood why Trump was elected the first time, even if I think it was for all the wrong reasons. The second time, it just feels like people have goldfish memories and will just always vote against whoever's in office right now. I talk about politics all the time. Result of that? Yep. The Democratic Party is some of the least effective people in government, it feels like, ever. Since 2012? Yep. And I actually don't think there'll be an incumbent president winning an election anytime soon. The general, like, anti-current establishment vibe, it feels like it's going to be so strong whoever is in whoever's in office. Like, it's way too easy to monetize people being upset about the issues that are literally never getting fixed. Dude, yeah, I talk about politics all the time. Anyway, already one dead villager here for Yo. And I have an archer on the way, but yeah, definitely caught off guard by the men-at-arms. Accept any vote? Yep, that's also true. People, they are not. Coaching the people? I'm not high enough elo to do that. Enjoy democracy? People do enjoy democracy, which is why people want to keep the democracy and are really worried about losing the democracy. Andrew Yang? Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Egg prices? Well, I mean, most issues that people really care the most about are, generally speaking, I would say due to wealth inequality and lack of access to basic services, especially medical services. Is president? Yeah, which, again, I'm not saying that. And the first time, it should have been Hillary because she got more votes. And by democracy standards, Trump should be president right now because he got more votes. Last primary? Who did I vote for in the last primary? I think when it got to Illinois, there really wasn't anyone left to vote for. Except Biden. If I recall correctly. Oh, the Electoral College is still a thing? It's a legacy of the ye old days. And the thing is, it isn't going to change because it currently favors Republicans slightly. All the primaries at once? Because some states want to have an outsized influence. And the politicians like doing it because it allows them to focus all of their campaigning in one place at a time. Is vice president? Yeah, I mean, we don't do that anymore, but like I said, it's really, really, really hard to actually change such a core mechanic of how elections are run. It would need to be a very bipartisan effort, and like I said, considering that the Electoral College as a concept slightly favors Republicans right now, it's they have no incentive to want to change it. Anyway, Cosmo, really good pressure here. Does have a little bit more idle time, but still. Keeping Yo on his back foot. Cosmo himself is fully walled. He's just chilling. And I'd argue that the Democrats are a wide-ranging party that in general espouses pretty centrist values. Especially in how they market themselves, it's very, very pro-centrist. Which I think is one of the reasons people are so angry at Democrats is because they are just trying to be the most pro-establishment individuals possible. Hello, Rub-a-Dub-Tub. Wait, Rub-a-Tub-Dubs. There we go. Also going over to Stone early. Could be looking for some Mo Naspas in early Castle Age. Ah. Not the other thing. Yep. Free healthcare. I would argue that they generally don't have a platform of trying to fix economic issues, right? Those are the main issues that people have. Normal, reasonable people, absolutely. Anyway, 6 villager kills now. Yo's in a terrible spot. 2016. I mean, you could say Democrats have drifted further left, because they absolutely have. But the thing is that there's still a very wide array of opinions and philosophies in the Democratic Party. Whereas Republicans are much more in lockstep with whatever the big orange palooka wants. We're not as evil as Republicans. Yeah, that's basically it. But they generally are not as hardcore on ideas of things like single-payer healthcare, taxing the rich, all that stuff. Those are the sorts of things that people, I think, would really gravitate towards, because those are the most direct improvements to their own lives. Introducing greater efficiency and lowering cost in the healthcare system, and then paying for that through actually taxing super rich people. And then doing stuff like not getting involved in a bunch of overseas wars and stuff like that. Yeah, Hungary did kick out Orban. In Israel, in the name of lobbying? Yep, they sure are. It depends on who you ask in the Democratic Party. Again, the issue is that the Democrats were again, a very diverse set of ideas. The Joe America? Yeah, that's like, it's such a generic name, man. Yo needs a moment. It is a nomad start. This is a weird map. But yeah, no politician in America is ever going to say, oh, we're going to reduce the scope and size and scope of the military, because that's usually political suicide. So it's usually, let's make the military as amazing as possible and then not get involved in a bunch of overseas wars.
Kid.
Is generally how the politicians work it. Anyway, yeah, really interesting map. It's kind of, I think, still just going to play out like a regular open hybrid map. I would assume you can't walk on this water. Expensive. Can we make this missiles? How much money can we funnel into the military-industrial complex? Yep. But it's like not being tough on crime. Or like claiming to be tough on crime. Like those are the sorts of things that people will hate you. Yeah, it's mega random. Anyway, AOC matchup here. Actually, Age of Kings matchup even. Saracens for Cosmo to the southwest. Celts here for Yo to the northeast. Is beating Russia? I mean, it seems like they're just kind of at a stalemate with each other. Improve the conditions of the poor? Yep. It turns out that it is much less likely to have crime if people have access to basic dignity. Wild idea. UBI? I mean, maybe. It's interesting, at least. Incompetence? Yeah. The thing is, I don't think the war is going to stop anytime soon. I don't think Ukraine is really pushing the front lines back much at all. I mean, they're, I think, inflicting significantly more casualties than they're taking, but it's not like they're gaining any ground, at least as far as I know. Sustainable for Russia? Who knows, man? I certainly have no idea. The thing is, they are still selling all their oil, so I guess the machine... I guess it's mostly natural gas, right? Still, they're selling their petroleum products. There you go. Made oil prices go up? Yeah, that does help Russia. But literally, it's like Trump just wanted to take out the leader of Iran and then say, we won in Iran, and then move on to the next thing. And then he got bored with it because it took too long. And it was just too complicated for his tiny little brain. Anyway, both players recognizing that the map is a hybrid map at around the same time. They both have a dock down at the same time. You know, a little bit faster with the villager production, but nothing terribly drastic. Best... Well, we can agree on that. Worked in Venezuela? It worked in Venezuela because we didn't change the government at all. We just kidnapped their leader and then left basically the rest of the Venezuelan government intact. Yeah, it's like it was all optics, right? Yes, of course. The opposition took over? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure most of the machine of the Venezuelan government is exactly the same as it was. We say that we're going to put the opposition leader in charge, but she's still in America, I'm pretty sure. I mean, she's on, like, the news sometimes to spout her stuff. Puppet. I mean, it really seems like she's just a puppet of America. And those forget about in 2 days? Yep. Anyway, 7 to 8 fishing ships. It just seems like Yo's early game is a little bit cleaner. Of course, Celts do have the extra wood bonus, so that is certainly quite helpful. Alright, Feudal Age is on the way, though, for Cospa. Yo, probably going to click up after this fill, though. Nope, making more. Eric's coming in. Oh, geez, are you okay? I have never felt an earthquake before. See, that's the nice thing about living in Illinois. Other than tornadoes, we have no natural disasters. Yeah, I heard about the earthquake. Anyway, forward dock coming in from Cospa. Yo, though, is going to start training some militia. Still going to be a minute slower to the Feudal Age. That's a lot of sheepers. Looks like Cospa's going to be all on the water, though.
Kia.
You have Chicago? We do have Chicago. Chicago's great. Pivoting to the center? What does that even mean? Also, Mem's not actually ever going to quit. I hashtag doubt it. Alright, Fire and Hulk are on the way. That mean nothing? There you go. Well, Fire is about to be out, but you will at least be able to garrison the dock in the near future. And remember, some people, like freaking Andy, claimed that the water meta would turn into hyper-aggression as soon as the balance patch hit, but it still doesn't seem like that. Civil War, it's absolute. It's not forgotten because most people didn't know or care about it in the first place. He's too low money for first class and too low elo for coach. That's great. Alright, Hulk is being a bit annoying. And it's not like Yo's going to be hitting Castle Age anytime soon, but the Men-at-Arms are out. They're going to have Arson. Wait a minute, is there like no gold on the map? There's only 10,000 gold on the map. Holy cow. Yes, Mem does ostensibly threaten to quit after every single tournament. Well, a lot of ships are very low HP, and 3 have gone down, and the ship numbers do favor Cospa still, and the Saracen market's going to be a big help. We talked off a bridge, oh no. Anyway, 5 kills to 0 deaths right now. The early Navy focus from Cospa certainly has been successful, at least to some degree. The Men-at-Arms, although being a bit annoying, still haven't actually killed anything, just destroying some buildings, which is useful, but still limited. Need to go buy a flag? There you go. There's already so much America 250 stuff. It's our 250th anniversary, by the way, this year. Next month. Well, at least it's 250 years since the Declaration of Independence. The American government, as we know it, didn't exist until 1787, so 11 years afterwards. But that's when we declared our independence from Britain. Oh my goodness. I hope it has a huge thunderstorm, man. History? What's Assassin's Creed 3 about? A big holiday like the 4th of July to declare independence. That's good. American Revolution? Oh. I mean, I'm no expert on the American Revolution, but I certainly did study it a fair bit. Anyway, Yo is still ahead by 4 vills. He's about to click up to Castlage, a little bit ahead of Kasva. And his eco is just so much stronger, even after all the fishing ship losses. In AoE 3, I never really did play the Americans in AoE 3. Better off as a colony? I think that it's one of those things where America was eventually going to become independent no matter what. It's just a matter of when and in what context. America's population was too large and it was growing too different from that of the UK. UK is so great. Yeah. You'd all be speaking British English? Yes. We'd be saying things like lorries and lifts, and using biscuits to refer to cookies. The true dark years.
Kid.
Or, yeah, that's terrifying. We'd call studying revision. Backed off with the taxes. They could have, but there wasn't really a lot of willpower, I think, in the UK to do that. The closest to a British accent? There is no accent that's close to a British accent in America. I mean, obviously... Yeah, I mean, there's the transatlantic accent, but nobody really talked like the transatlantic accent. Like, that was just something that was mostly done in media to make it understandable for British people and American and Canadian people. Amish? I think that the Amish accent probably uses more old-timey dialects, which I guess you could interpret as being more similar to the British accent, but still... Yeah, it's still going to be a bit more Germany. Not like the country Germany, but like German-E. Lingua franca? I mean, I think that having English as a lingua franca for most of the world is just really useful. And that, you know, it's just, it helps communication a lot when people are able to talk to each other. Boston English isn't even English. You can't just call everything wicked and go to Harvard.
Kid.
They had 500 years. Interesting. Boston. Yeah, and obviously there's a bunch of different UK accents. Well, all the crossbowmen of Yo's have been cleaned up. That said, Yo's getting a castle down. This is mining a ton of stone. Remember, there's a lot of stone on the map, but very little gold.
Kid.
Although he gets on the outside here. And Wody McWodeface is going to come in. And let me tell you, Wody McWodeface is very good. As their official language? Well, it's one of those things where it kind of can work as a neutral language. Still, more TCs are on the way, and Mamelukes do very well against Woad Raiders if you can get to them, but it's still going to be a very tall order, especially with the eco difference that we're currently seeing. And still, Yo hasn't actually trained any Woad Raiders whatsoever, so we have these 7 knights, and they're still going to be annoying running around all over the place. We do have the medium warships upgrade in for Cosfa, as Yo's going to try and Dunkirk those vills. Became what it means? I don't know the etymology behind it. Yes, because during the Louis XIV reign, France was the most powerful country in Europe, and it was their language that was like the language of the courts, and you know everyone wanted to be as cool and classy as the French at the time. Again, it was the largest language and had the most speakers of all the mainland European languages. Anyway, Woads are now coming in. You got a second castle here, and it's not like Cos was getting to Imp anytime soon, so this is still looking really good for you. I don't think Cos was on the outside at all. Gotta say, though, Celts always look best in blue, man. The blue pajamas. Yo, getting some eco upgrades. He's cruising. Directly, I mean, they're Braveheart appropriate Road Raiders, so I would say that they are historically accurate. They're historically accurate to the late 90s when the idea of the medieval Scots were Woad Raiders. Very historically accurate, in fact. Completely naked? That seems fair. Alright, buying a lot of stone. The castle will be on its way, and there is something to be said about Castle being not actively dead at the moment. Securing mineral resources is going to be tough, though. He's got that gold back. He's got that stone over there. Still not on the outside. Not the market! Neo also getting iron casting, so he's going to have full upgrades on these Road Raiders. Now, he won. Nope! There are no European civs in AoE 1, except for the Mediterranean ones, but there are no European civs other than ones on the Mediterranean. So it's just, you know, Greeks and Romans.
Yeah.
Sense for a DLC? They weren't really empires, though.
Kid.
And I don't think we really knew too much about them. If anything, it's weird that there wasn't an Indian Civ in AoE 1. Gaul Civ? I mean, it depends on what time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at the Roman Empire time frame, then yes. But that was already in itself a bit of a departure from the AoE 1 time frame, which was mostly the Bronze Age into the Iron Age. Well, yep. AoE 1, it sure was. Purists is represented as Macedonians. Because I think they wanted to differentiate it from the Greek campaign, which they already had. All right, we have our good friend Albert Hajum on the way, but again, it's just the eco numbers are simply too vast. Oh wait, does Yo not know what's in the middle? Oh, Yo probably thinks there's something here. He almost certainly thinks there's something useful here, and there's absolutely nothing useful here. I mean, I guess you could build a castle and it's on the high ground, but other than that, there are no resources here except for 3 zebras and 1 tree. But I mean, I guess this would be a good treb location. Bottle Garrett. There's 5,000 gold left on the map. 1600s over here. Another 1600s over here. Another 1600s over there. But basically, the map is almost out of gold. Yeah, almost all of the remaining gold on the map is in those 3 corners. You still at least a decent amount of wood left. Randomly talk about Korean history? That sounds like something I would do. Well, some more Albert Hajums are on the way, but Yo is on his way up to the Imperial Age.
Yeah.
And Saracens aren't going to be too happy playing a game without any gold income. Oh, does Scotty not know? No, Scotty knows about the stone over there, at least. And will likely eventually find the gold in the corner. Sad with no gold, indeed. And we got some barracks coming in here as well, looking for some pikemen. Have the market's all you need. Also, got to get gold shaft mining for your 5 gold miners here. Well, Imp's almost in. Imp, more like in. Puh. Cosmos discovered that gold over there. Like I said, I mean, Saracens crush Celts in the late game. But it's more a matter of can you get there, and with your economy so non-competitive, doesn't make that much of a difference that your Civ is so good in the late game anyway. We're looking at almost 50% more food collected. Everything like him, not Bengalis. I learned that one the hard way. Make the coaching sound. Oh no. Oh no. Ellie archers were too OP. I thought Mameluke Siege Onager would beat Bengalis, but no. Elephant Archers just killed all the Mamelukes, and then the monks converted the Siege Onagers. Well, the trebbing has begun. I was very sad. Hussar, I guess I thought that Mamelukes would be the way to go. I thought Mamelukes would be a great unit against the Elephant Archers. I was wrong. I was so very wrong. Last furnace coming in. That castle's going to go down, and without castles, then you can't make Mamelukes, and if you're not making Mamelukes, what are you even doing in the late game hero Saracens in this matchup? Road Raiders versus ships. Yeah. This is why I'm not worthy to coach people. Ellie Archer, that's what I thought, but unfortunately, like, 60 Elephant Archers beat, like, 60 Mamelukes. Also, he was way ahead of Nika because the Bengali boom was crazy. Even though I had 5 relics. And I had Elite Mameluke. It was full upgrades versus full upgrades. Anyway, War Galley's looking to find some value over here. But there isn't enough wood, I think, on the outside to really compare to the middle. So I don't think you can win this game on pure water. Sturm timing? Because I thought that I could... I mean, like, he was playing super passive. Didn't try and do anything for map control. So I thought that, okay, well, I'm just going to get to Elite Mameluke Siege Onager and kill him. And then it didn't work. But again, he had like 20,000 more resources than me because he went with 5 TC boom. And he was over 200 population with Mahayana. Like, he didn't move out until he had all of his upgrades. Move out of his base. Kills Ellie Archer. Again, that's what I thought, but in equal numbers, they really don't. And Mamlukes are more expensive than Elephant Archers, remember? Castle down. I mean, again, there shouldn't really be a route to victory in this game for Red. Elite Skirm, they were never hard countered by Elite Skirms because Mamlukes always dealt melee damage, but they did take bonus damage from them. No, they don't. Or do they? No, they don't. Maybe that was a change they floated around? No idea. Oh, no, maybe skirmishers get bonus damage against Mamlukes, the Mamluk armor class specifically. Yeah. Like I said, Costco's gonna run out of resources long before Yo does. Is this Ishravamsha Riders? That's kind of a tricky matchup because although the Shravamshas absorb the Mamluk projectiles, the Mamluks still deal a gajillion damage to them once they eat through those, so I don't think it's really that good. Now, on the other hand, the Gurjara Camels, those are extremely good against Mamelukes. Shipwright time, baby! Guilds is, of course, going to be a good one, because, again, the map is basically going to be out of resources in a moment. They did, actually. They literally did just that boom. It used to be 130 back in AOC. Now it's 120. But of course, that was back when Zealotry was a thing. But now you get essentially a weaker version of it for free. Mamelukes? Well, Cosmo didn't get to a bunch of elite Mamelukes because Yo kept the pressure up. Now, of course, the Celt Navy, not very good. It must be confessed. Cosmo's super housed, though, because he's getting completely knocked out of the land here. You have Zealotry at home? Exactly. I mean, it's not like Yo's pop is really that impressive. Stronghold! Let's go! Why is Kaspa still playing? I mean, how does Yo actually finish off Kaspa? I don't think Kaspa can win, but he's gonna try and get a stalemate. I think the issue is simply that he doesn't have the resources on the outside for it. I think. It's not like there's that much wood left, but there's still almost certainly a lot more wood for Yo available. Using the Trebs to go after the docks. Chemistry now coming in for Yo. Can Cosma cheese out a victory? Yeah, remember, it's only 2 relics for Yo. He does have guilds, though. Cannon Galleons for Cospa. Oh my god, look at this! Yo getting literally all of the upgrades. Now that's a man who knows what he wants in life. All the university upgrade. I mean, with Shipwright already in for Yo, I think it should be enough. Get that production speed to mass up the Navy. But you still have to be really careful. I mean, there's 23,000 wood left on the map. That's really not much. And, I mean, Cospa still has a decent amount of it. He even has a little bit of stone left. I would have liked to have seen some relics picked up. There's 1 relic left over there. Where can Yo even dock? I mean, he's going to need to get a guard tower up away from the trebuchets. So you see the trebuchets are right here, so I think you have to try and rush up a tower or 2 and start docking over here. I think. But, I mean, look at the populations, guys. It's very close. But yeah, I mean, the DPS for Celt Keeps is actually very good against ships because you have heated shot being delivered more frequently thanks to the attack speed increase. Demos? That's an excellent question. I really have no idea. Demos are not the unit you want here. Casa having to spend so much wood rebuilding houses, which, again, wood is a valuable resource. Who has more map control? It's kind of 50-50. Again, my thought is, at least, that there should be more wood available for Yo. I think. But I don't know how much more. Oh, Costa got the relic, too. Yes, Yo does have relics. Keep coming in as well. Again, I think what Yo needs to do... Oh, did he get a cannon galleon with the trebuchet? Or did he just get the zebra? But yeah, you cannot lose a single cannon galleon here. Wait. No, Yo's just bringing them further inland. Yeah, the trebuchet there goes down. I think one of the cannon galleons was lost. But yeah, Yo just needs to go where the trebuchets and cannon galleons are not located and start building a couple keeps to start building docks. Oh my goodness, all the halbs died. Guys, Yo's behind in population. Guys, this is like... Yo has like a 29-point lead in a basketball game. Yo has a huge bank. I have no idea why Costa's making fishing ships. He has nothing to spend food on. I don't know why Yo isn't building docks. Like, what's he doing? Again, Yo just needs to go where his opponent's cannon galleons are not, build a couple keeps, and then rush up a bunch of docks. So you know that there are a couple cannon galleons here. There's the trebuchet and a couple other cannon galleons over here. So, again, rush some vills, build a couple towers, and then that should buy you enough time to start producing ships. The ships, I think the ships would kill all the skirmishers too quickly. 11,000 wood left, guys. Fish traps are fish trapping. Taking the sheep right now. Dry dock coming in for Yo. I mean, he just needs to build the dock somewhere. Where is he? Oh, no, you get that at university now. Lol. Pictures of ships? Ah, yes, of course. Oh, that's the final treb. Yep, that's gone. Yeah, it's not that fish traps are bad. Like, fish traps are very, very good, but it's just you have nothing to spend food on right now, so what's the point? Why would you spend your wood, which is an incredibly valuable resource for more ships, on something that doesn't help you, which is the food? It's not like you're going to win the game by launching a bunch of Hussar raids. He could. I mean... the food to wood conversion? Well, you have to sell food for gold and then buy wood, so it's obviously not very efficient. Hussar to swim? Oh, that's a good point. Why is this treb getting value? Like, why are you even hanging around over here? Guys, I think Yo is stuck. I don't know why. Like, this castle doesn't do anything for... Like, who cares about that castle right now? I have no idea why Yo is not doing anything. Also, gotta love the 40 pop space transport ships. Again, he just needs to rush up some towers and use those to buy time. He's got treadmill crane. He's got all the tower upgrades in. There's only 4 elite cannon galleons, and you know where they are. So just build the towers and the docks somewhere else. And then you just start massing up navy. Hand cannons coming in for cost. Well, I guess that is a way to spend the food. Yep, here we are. I don't understand what Yo is doing. Yeah, Yo's got a dock over here. Yo is at 18 APM, guys. Yeah, Yo's got all the upgrades he needs. How many techs does he have researched? 50. Man, look at it. This feels really straightforward. Like, why are you trying to treb galleons? You got all the university upgrades. You have your towers in, and just, you know, plop some of those down. Like, yeah, you'll lose a bunch of villagers in the process, but villagers have no value right now. They can't even gather resources. Wait, Yo has 0 TCs. Okay, you probably want at least 1 TC. Yeah, I think Yo is stopping his farming. I'm only 2k. Yeah, I'm not high enough elo to cast this game. Heavy plow coming in. Like, Casa is going for it. Guys, this is a 0 TC game. Neither player has a town center right now.
Naam.
I'm not bored. I'm amused. Like, funnily enough, Kasva might be able to get... Oh, there's actually 2 relics on the outside. I missed one. Okay, so it's 2 relics to 2 relics, although he has obviously gathered, you know, 4 times as much gold. Still sheep, yep. Still rhino, still zebra. Kia?
Ornlu.
I just don't know, like, there's no time limit. And look at this, Goss going for the wood! Steal a relic? I mean, you could. But guys, we're getting to the point where Cosmo's gonna have a ton of hand cannoneers. And nothing stops this. Yo's got nothing. Yo is just not spending his resources, and I don't know why. I don't understand. But yeah, just get like 1 bombard cannon, and you will slowly whittle away everything. Yeah, and the player with 95 pop has 3,000 more score, and it's like, I just don't think Yo knows how to win this game, which feels very strange because Yo is such a good player at identifying win conditions. But I think Yo thinks he can win the game by not doing anything, which maybe there's a world in which he's right, but like you need to have an unkillable land army for that, and Yo doesn't have an unkillable land army at all. And now Yo's gonna try and go skirmishers. Now granted, there isn't anything here that kills the castles, because that one is just out of range. But like I said, eventually you'll get a bombard cannon over here. And the ranges are coming in. Like, am I crazy, guys? Again, it feels like this was just a very simple case of, you see where your opponent's cannon galleons are, build some docks and towers on the other place, and then just build a navy. Because, you know, your opponent doesn't have an economy. Are you out of wood? 5,000 wood left on the map. There's actually more food than wood here on the map.
Kid.
2 relics per player. Ring archer armor coming in here for Yo, but he's now actually spending some of this resources. But like that, just get some bombard cannons going. And if Yo starts to liquidate those resources, maybe he'll have a chance. Because you can see, Yo has gathered almost 50% more resources than his opponent. Casa, meanwhile, is a little bit ahead in resources destroyed, but not by an enormous margin. Does have more gold collected. Not the zebra! Anyway, Yo could even, you know, unpack that trebuchet. This is so weird, guys. The thing is, the game feels like it's one of those 2-hour games already, but we're only an hour and 12 minutes into it. It's not like it's been that long. The map just has very few resources. Another bombard coming out. But now the scouts are on the way for Kasva. Does have 22 fishing ships, guys. And Yo is out of resources. Kasva is still nominally gathering a little bit of wood. He's still got a little bit more he can take. Scouts are out. Light cav is in. Remember, it's still going to be 6 attack versus 4 pierce armor. Oh, wait, no, he's actually getting +4 defense. Okay, that's huge. Oh my god, Yo also lost the treb. Oh my goodness, guys. No siege engineers. Hussar coming in for you. I mean, you guys did 11,500 food. Is he actually willing to use the market here to buy stone? He is, at least to some degree.
Here.
All right, here he comes. A decent hit there. Hussar is in. They are fully upgraded insofar as Celts can get them. Still, 3 times the army value overall for castle. But if the castle can help out, I mean, stronghold castles have very good DPS, even without Bracer. There are no more Hussars here. Obviously, Yo has a lot more food he can spend on making a lot more Hussars. I don't know, guys. Who do you think's going to take it? Hussars trying to focus down the bombard cannons. The hand cannon mass is slowly going down, but Yo is very rapidly running out of dudes. Oh, one more hit does snipe that bombard cannon, and now there's only one left. And remember, Yo is literally not gathering resources anymore, except 25 bills on food. Alright, I was not expecting something this crazy here. Thing is, will Yo then not be able to make a navy?
نعم.
Again, I don't see how the players can win the game.
أمر.
Still, the Hussars of Yo should be better than these light cav because they have all the attack upgrades versus no attack upgrades. Hand cannons still help out a lot in terms of damage from the back, though. It's only a difference of 5 HP. Forging's gonna come in. That's obviously a helpful one. Still a little bit more wood there. There's a trebuchet from Yo. Remember, he never lost this castle. Yo's gonna drive this off. He still has a decent amount of resources. I don't know, guys. Who are you taking? Still 7,000 food, natural food left on the map even, so the rhinos, the random zebra that are left over. No crop rotation for either civ. I don't think a cheeky transport would do all that much, considering that there's so much navy for Kasva. But getting all of that wood destroyed here feels like it's going to be kind of a huge issue. There's less than 2,000 wood left on the map. Taking some more food over there as Kasva. And I think that maybe the fish traps are a bit of a problem? There's 12 wood on this one baobab tree. Where's the rest of the wood on the map? There's 150 wood on that acacia. Not that it's worth building a lumber camp for, but there has to be like one grove of trees that I'm missing somewhere. Yeah, like as far as I can tell, there's literally just 12 wood. Oh, it's over here. Here it is.
أهلا.
Still, again, you'd think that Kasva's gonna run out of wood sooner, I think. Although Kasva, again, Kasva still has income. Yo really doesn't. Except for the 2 relics, but both players have 2 relics. And there's 1 relic in that monastery and 1 relic in that monastery. And there's still actually a decent amount more natural food Kasva can take. 24-hour game? I don't think so. Because in theory, Kasva will eventually win this game by virtue of having 2 relics plus Saracen Market versus 2 relics plus guilds. And that would probably, like, I'm not even joking, guys. It would probably then end at around the 3-hour mark instead of at the 24-hour mark. But Blast Furnace is coming in too for the light cav. It's gonna be difficult though to ever establish any any beachheads. Like, if you lose the stables, which you are slowly but steadily doing. Wait, he was building a navy! He's doing it! Why didn't he do this hours ago? How much wood left on map? Really not much. There's 1,000 wood. Most of it's concentrated over here. There's one acacia tree in the middle that has 150 if you want to send those bills to do some long-distance lumberjacking. Monks, because relics are eternal. You kind of have to wait for the food to run out for that, otherwise you're just losing monks to hussars or light cav. A lumber camp. Technically, it's a net of 50 wood, but I feel like it, because time isn't really the issue right now, it's better to just have the villagers long distance gather because you already have the transport to just send it back there. Get you a little bit more value. Oh no, the cannon galleons! Remember, there are 47 Saracen galleons here. They do, however, miss the upgrades. So 1.36 movement speed here versus 1.65. Huge movement speed advantage for the Celt ones. They also get 2 extra pierce armor versus 1 more attack and the faster movement speed. Relic old times issue. It's a very, very minor one. Oh wait! Cosmo is stealing farms! Oh my goodness, that's glorious. That is pretty glorious. Anyway, Yo's developing a navy. He's selling a lot of his food, but again, like, why didn't he do this ages ago? The fish traps are an excellent wood-to-food conversion, so you can keep the Hussar war, or I guess light cav, war machine going a lot longer here. Oh, the cannon galleons! The Ganon galleons! Uh-oh. That's a big snipe. And now you're just going to be in a situation where you have to force your opponent to spend wood. And unfortunately for Kasva, he never got masonry. So these galleons are still going to be very good against the buildings. Guys, is it stupid that I love this game? I think it's pretty stupid. Maybe I'm just a masochist like that. Okay, now he's getting careening. Gonna snipe some more bills as Yo really tries to chop this little last bit of wood. How can Yo win the fight? I mean, he's already got more galleons. So he just needs to buy some more time until he can train some more. Although he is out. I mean, it's 50 to 49. He's making a few more. But yeah, having... Well, again, Yo has better upgrades, so... that at least should sort of cancel each other out. But of course, it's all about how well you can take the fight. And right now, this is a very good fight for Kasva. Now Drydock's coming in. That's huge because it's going to allow his galleons to match the speed of Yo's galleons. 55 ships to 49. No fast fire ship for either civ, in case you didn't know. Landing some Hussars over here. Not that it's really that big of a deal. You have to go right on the shoreline here, and the galleons will destroy everything. There's some bills to absorb the fire. Meanwhile, big fight here to the south, and Yo just has a huge numbers advantage. Yo, doing what he needs to. This might just be too many resources lost for Kasva. The map is out of wood. There's 285 left, 150 over here, and I don't know where the rest is. There's like not quite 2 trees worth of wood left on the map. Anyway, 32 to 43 galleons at the moment. Yeah, but neither is close to getting housed. 50 pop lead right now for Yo. Oh, but Yo's not taking the fight with all of his warships over here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. $31 to 22. You got 5 more galleons on the way. Hussar is going to come over here. Yeah, going to go after the monastery. Yep. Doesn't want to fight under the docks, though, remember. There's also a Treb coming forward. There is a single Treb for Yo. I mean, Yo had an almost unlosable position. Anyway, not going to go down very soon. 50 to 13 army. And Yo simply has double the ships of his opponent. Even with the higher quality galleons, Yo took the better fights. So this is the world where De'Aaron Fox just decides to hold the ball for 10 seconds and wins the game instead of deciding to go for a layup that gets blocked. Yeah, Kasva 41 pop to 78. GG, well played. There we go, guys. One hour and 34 minutes. Like, that was a game that felt like it was a 3-hour game, but it really wasn't that long, all things considered. That was crazy, though. But yeah, once the hand cannoneer blob was eventually dealt with, Yo should have still had it in the bag. Wood is scarce, that's for sure. Would that Kasva had a better idea what to do there? Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Just wanted to stream a little bit just to say hi. Uh-huh. So I will see you guys again soon. Oh, Jessica Lilypad, thank you for the gifted sub. Anger? Nah, he's just excited.